Hey, everybody. Welcome to the For Love podcast today.
Welcome, welcome.
Yes. One of my favorite people's on today. And you know this. I've been talking to you about her.
A lot,
yes. This is one of those things where there is no other way to say this. I forced her to become my friend. There's really no other. There's not even a lesser version of how true that is.
Yeah, I think that's, I asked you a couple of weeks ago, like, do you know her? And you were like, yes, because I forced her
I really did.
to be my friend.
I mean, I really did. I used all the powers of the internet and direct messaging, and I'm sure I dropped whatever names we haven't called. I did all that I could do, and it worked. So we're clearly bearing the lead, but we just have a top chef superstar on the show today. She's a big deal. She's a big deal in the culinary world. And what I'm so happy to tell you is that she is even better in person. That is the honest truth. Okay, we're going to get into all that. But let's start here. I'd like to ask you this. Let's just say, no, it is also okay to say, I'm a longtime Top Chef watcher, and you're new to the genre.
I have never seen an episode of Top Chef.
I wasn't going to say that, but...
Which didn't make sense to me in my head because I watch Food Network.
Yeah.
But then the other day you were like, well, it's
on Bravo.
I don't think I've ever seen a show on Bravo.
Wow, that is a whole different conversation. You've never seen a show on Bravo?
I don't think
None of the Housewives? None of it?
No.
Wow.
I mean, I think I stay away from that channel because of that
Housewives.
show. Like I have other ways to waste my time.
Sure.
Like
Yes.
it's not that I'm too good. I just have other vices.
That's fine.
And that's an endless rabbit hole.
And it's endless shows now. There's like, Housewives of like 10 different cities now. Dubai.
Right.
Housewives of Dubai.
Right. So I just don't ever go to that channel.
Okay, I
didn't,
That's
I
how
was
you missed
curious. I know about Top Chef. It's everywhere.
Yes.
And I had wondered, like, why haven't I seen that?
That's why.
That's why.
Okay, well, I haven't missed an episode. And I think the season is, I think it is
It's
season
in the
22.
20s. Yeah.
Let me just see. Top Chef. This is why sometimes we have computers on our lap. Yeah, we're in season 22. Damn.
I need to maybe go back.
I've logged some hours, is what I'm saying on Top Chef. But I'm digressing because here's my question I want to ask you.
Okay.
Okay, you can imagine this because you watch the Food Network. It is a cooking competition show.
Yeah.
With chefs at the top of their game. I mean, they're all award winners and restaurant owners, and they're everything from like the CDC, like up to the executive chefs and everything. They're for real. So, and then they get judged. And sometimes like Tom Colicchio is mean. And so you are judged with an inch of your life. And this is the most beautiful food you've ever seen. You understand this, right? Like on our best day, we could not do 50% of what these people do in 15 minutes with like, surprise, your ingredient is squid. Do you know what I mean?
What?
Okay, well, I'm fitting too much of my feelings about Top Chef into this one question, which is this.
Okay.
If you are in the Top Chef kitchen, they're like, you've got however long you have, make your signature dish to impress the judges. What do you reach for?
Okay.
Okay. Oh God, you have something. I'm still thinking. My brain's still thinking.
In that situation, I would think I would have to be impressive. I have been cooking for a long time. I would attempt pad thai. Because I could show off like my decent chopping skills.
Yeah.
It's a lot of different colors.
A lot of flavor profiles that you have to know how to work with. For
sure. And then I would prepare it, and then I would be immediately disqualified.
Yes. And I love you. I am your friend and I believe in you, but I'm just telling you that you would be disqualified. Yes. We're not this good.
No, I'm not even, my pad thai's not even good enough for my family. Like, every so often I'm like, it can't be that hard. I'm going to do it again. And it just doesn't taste Right. It's never as good.
Okay, well,
Then I go to like Saps or Madame Mams or Love Thai or like we just buy the pad thai.
Pad Thai is not, I would not call it easy, especially if you do it the full Monty. Like my favorite Pad Thai recipe also has like pressed tofu, and that takes a whole time. And then you have to marinate it in this overnight. It's just not super easy. It's a lot of chopping. You've got to master like palm sugar and fish sauce and just some elements that aren't necessarily readily available to the average Texan.
They're not, except I have tried to use all the ingredients, but still, no.
Well, I like
I'm
it.
out
I like
of my
your
league.
effort. I like your hubris.
What's yours?
Well, I don't know. See, my problem right now is that I have too much insider knowledge about Top Chef. So I know like what they like and don't like. And I also will tell you this right up front. In no universe, no scenario, there's no set of circumstances that I could toggle or turn a dial on, would I ever succeed or flourish in a cooking competition.
Oh, with the pressure.
I would capsize immediately.
The time.
I would just absolutely implode. The stress of it. I'm not fast. First of all, I'm a slow cook. I'm very slow. On purpose. I like my music to be playing. I like to pour a glass of wine. I chop. That is the rush of it all. And then they're like, surprise, you've got to work in this bag of candy corn, into your, they just throw these wrenches on it. What my point is this. Never, ever, ever would I say, yes, I will be on your fun cooking competition show. Never.
Understood.
Okay. But per the question. Mm-hmm. Well, here's the problem. You and I both, I'm a home cook. I cook for like whoever these people are, that lived here all these times. So we eat like a Texas family. Mm-hmm. Top Chef is fine dining. So it is all like beautiful, gorgeous, plated, precise, beautiful food. So I don't cook like that. So I don't know how to cook like that. So the best thing I can say, what I think I would just do, I would be immediately disqualified for the simplicity and probably whatever I got wrong about it, would be like the most beautifully like seared and basted steak, like a fillet, like hard sear in the cast iron and butter and thyme and garlic up over it, and on some bed of mash. Like I'm lowbrow, I would want mashed potatoes, but they do shit like mashed rutabaga or whatever the things are,
Okay.
Cauliflower puree.
Oh, okay.
That's really as far. I don't know. Something else would need to be on it, but I don't know what that is. A green or a bean.
A sprig.
A sprig.
Of something.
There'd be like a le zhuzh around the plate, a zhuzh of the, oh my God, I forgot. I already had this in my head and I forgot to say it. And then I would then want to take like the delicious meat juice and make like a, how do you say that word? The like cream pepper sauce that goes over a pea. It's a French word. I'm gonna find it right now.
Oh, I would have to say Google pronounce this for me.
I'm gonna see. I need to just let it go.
And yet we can't.
Steak. Yes. Oh my God, I found it. Okay, that's it. Poivre? How do you think you say that?
Wait, ready?
Did you ever take who's someone is
Poivre.
Did you just do that on your thing? Say it again.
Poivre.
I need to hear it one more time louder.
Well,
turn it up.
Can Pepper edit all this?
No,
out?
I want this in.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Poivre.
Poivre.
Am I saying that right? Poivre. So steak, poivre.
If we whisper it, it's not so obvious we're butchering
look at this
it.
Beautiful.
Yes, no, it's gorgeous.
I mean, yes. So I know how to make this.
I think
know how
that
to make
I
this
would
sauce.
be
It's just butter and cream.
asked to leave the room just when they looked at my soggy pad thai noodles, but I think they would at least come up to your station.
Pava. Don't forget my mash. I
Yes,
will have
yeah.
a mash, and I will have I will do my sauce in a circular pattern. So anyway, but also I would probably just cry. Like something would go wrong and I would just be like, you guys, I just quit. It's so stressful. These chefs on Top Chef, I just feel for them. This season just started. We're only on the second week of season 22, and it is in Toronto this year.
Oh.
So it's in Canada. Now, I'm going to ask Kristen all about this because it's finished. The season is finished. So I can't wait to, she can't tell us anything.
Right. Well, I know this from her book. Like, you can't say anything at all, even if you're the winner.
That's exactly right. Can you imagine?
No. And I did, to be fair, I did go back and watch, like, the episode where she won. Like,
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. I mean, that was 100 years ago, like 2011 maybe?
yeah. I went and watched the ending of that. And then the little side gig they give you to try to earn your way back in.
Last Chance Kitchen?
Yeah, maybe
Correct.
like in Alaska.
That's how she won.
Yeah. So, yes. It's so stressful.
Yes. So stressful. I mean, I love her story. She got canceled, whatever you want to call it, and she won her way back up through Last Chance Kitchen and won the whole damn thing. And now she is the lead host. So you know what? Dreams come true.
Yeah.
Dreams come true. Okay, we're talking about her, but let me just go ahead and put this on the line for those of you who are listening. Because we have Kristen Kish today, and I just love her. She's everything. Like, I don't know if you said it while we were on our microphones. Maybe we were just talking, but you're like, who gets to be everything? A model, a chef, a TV host. I'm like, I guess Kristen does.
A restaurateur.
A restaurateur. Also, she knows how to sail a sailboat. And I've been on a sailboat with her.
Yeah.
And I watched her, crank the cranks or whatever you want to say. I'm like, come on, man.
Jeez.
If you know Kristen, you may originally have known her as the winner of Top Chef Season 10. And I think that was like 2011. And it's funny to go back and watch it because like the men have like the sideburns. Like it's very located in like a fashion space. And she won. She was the star. And so since then, she's just been this leading voice in the culinary world. She's obviously worked in Michelin-starred kitchens. She hosted Restaurants at the End of the World, which you would have loved. It's on Nat Geo.
I did just get Disney.
Okay, great. That's in your like
Yes,
wheelhouse. It's
okay. I'll
out
go
of
watch
Bravo into like Earth.
Yeah.
She also co-hosted Iron Chef, Quest for an Iron Legend. And now she is the kind of lead host of Top Chef. The student has become the teacher.
Full circle.
I mean, and then she has this incredible like life story outside of the kitchens. She's just really got this story of resilience and purpose. So she was born in South Korea, but adopted immediately into a Midwestern white American family. I was on their boat. And so she has spent her whole life really navigating identity, racial identity, sexual identity, cultural identity, career shifts. Like what was it ever going to mean for Kristen to like live authentically in her body in this world? And so she is telling the whole story in her new book. It's called Accidentally on Purpose, and it comes out in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And it is her memoir about pivoting, about embracing change, and ultimately about building a life that is truthful and authentic and the one that she was meant to and deserves to live. And so just in case you grapple with any of those same big issues in your life, you are going to love this episode today. You're going to love Kristen. And she was my special guest on the All the Dish tour when my cookbook came out. And that's how I made her my friend. I'm like, hi, my name is Jen. You've never heard of me. Is there any way that you would be my special guest at my tour stop in Dallas? I have no idea why she said yes.
She said yes?
Yeah.
To like a cold ask?
She flew on a cold ask. So what she told me in advance was, so we're going to be on a stage together. Why don't you come to the restaurant, Arlo Grey, just right downtown, and let me feed you and let's meet. So I brought my mom and Gavin and Danielle. That's who could come because it was kind of short notice.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. They sent out every single thing on the menu. Every single thing. We sat down. We hadn't even pulled our chairs up, and our server had brought over like champagne from Kristen, and the sommelier was just bringing us all the things. It was. I wish Gavin Hatmaker was here because he still says that was the greatest culinary experience of his life.
I bet.
Like, it just kept coming, and then we would just laugh because it was so beautiful and it was so delicious, and then we would just laugh around the table. So anyway, that's how we met. And then she came to Dallas and we shared a stage. And then at Meat Camp last summer, when I was in South Haven, her family is from Michigan. And she was like, hey, I'm going to be there for 4 days. Do you want to come with my family on the sailboat? And I was like, I do.
Yeah.
Her and her wife and her brother and her mom and dad.
Oh my gosh.
She's delightful. She's delightful. You're going to love her. I love her. So without any further ado, welcome Kristen Kish to the For the Love podcast. Okay, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to see you. Always, always.
Likewise.
Thank you for just being here with me yet again. I was just telling Amy, I genuinely, and there's no better way to say this, I forced you to be my friend. I did. I did. You and I both know it's true. Like, you could not escape my clutches.
I think it was mutual. We were like tracking each other a little bit. And all of a sudden it
She's
just
being nice.
worlds collided.
Mm-hmm. You're being nice about that. But what really happened is I direct messaged you and I was like, I just like you so much. And I just think I hope this isn't forward, but would you be a guest on my tour? And you were like, maybe we should meet first. Like,
Is that when I invited you into the restaurant, right?
that's exactly right. I was just telling the story. And I brought my mom and my son and his girlfriend at the time. And I was just telling Amy, I wish my son was here because he still says that is the greatest culinary experience of his life.
Oh, that's really
And truly, like, you sent every single thing out on the menu. I don't think a single thing was skipped. And halfway through, some next beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, delicious dish would come out. And we would just start laughing. We were like, what are we going to do? We're going to just eat until we die. And we just did. And everything was better than the last. It was the best.
You know, I don't love when people do that to me when I go to restaurants and they just like bombard me with food. I don't like it, but I can't help myself. Amy, you're going to come in and I'm going to do the exact same thing to you.
I told her.
Even though I know it just, I don't love it, but I love it for other people.
I love it. So you can just keep your little opinion to yourself and do not ever change your ways. Because it was just phenomenal. So we're going to talk about your book and your story and your whole life. There's 100% chance we're going to talk about Top Chef, even though I know you can barely even talk about it because we're, as of this day, only 2 episodes into this season.
Yeah.
So, but your career is so interesting to track because you have gone through just several reinventions. Like you just have a new iteration of you, and then you level to a new place, and it's a whole new thing. I mean, including writing a book. That's a completely different muscle that you are flexing. And so this is kind of a broad question. I'm just curious, as someone who has your talents and your ambitions and your opportunities keep presenting themselves to you in completely new planets. How is it that you know internally it's time to make a change. It's time for me to step into this new thing, because every single time you do that, the thing you're in is still wildly successful. It's not like it's running its course, it's still working. And then even then, how is it that you know when it's time to take a new step forward?
Jen, I know that you were going to ask like questions that made me really think. And I know Robesi sent me some questions in advance. However, I chose not to read them.
I like that.
Oh,
I do the same thing.
I trust you enough to not have to pre-read what you're
Yeah.
gonna ask me.
Yeah.
So now I'm a little scared, but
Yeah.
how do I know? I don't always know. And I think
Yeah.
that's the most exciting part of the whole thing. I
Mm-hmm.
think there have been things that I said yes to or have chosen to go down only to find out that it wasn't the right thing, that it was a horrible mistake, that I'm not good at it, or I don't really enjoy doing it. But there was so much in my life that I did not explore, that I didn't allow myself to get excited about the possibility. And because I lived the majority of my life still the majority, ignoring all the possibilities, I kind of owe it to myself to do all the things and then try to figure it out later. I think over time I've honed that knife, that blade to really sharpen and really narrow me down to things that don't take me so long to figure out that I don't love. But with each thing and everything that kind of presents itself, kind of like I figure it out. I see if I like it. I see if I'm good at it. I see it, all the different things. And also, it would be so dumb to only find something and move on when something else stopped working. So like I don't
You're
know
right.
I don't know when this life and like all these opportunities are gonna just
You're right.
wash away. I don't know. So I'm gonna take it all while I can. Because I know
I love that answer. I absolutely love that answer. Can you talk? Is it too? You could just say, no, it's none of your business. Can you tell us about one of the paths you went down and went, you know what, this wasn't what I thought it was going to be, or I don't love it like I thought I might, or I don't have the skill set that's going to help me flourish here?
well, dating men did not flourish. Failed horribly, miserably, hated it. Was not the right thing for me.
Wrong path. Wrong path. Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
during that time, I was also going down the path of like this conventional way of education and figuring out what was going to lead me to the most successful career. And that didn't work out. I wasn't good at it. There have been numerous relationships, not just romantic, but friendships, relationships for me. And at a certain point, I had to let a lot of people go. I think within that, I got my heart broken a lot, just platonically and also romantically. But it also made me realize that the level of expectation that I was putting on other people to help me feel better about myself and then how I wanted to feel about myself, that wasn't fair. And I think that was a really good lesson for me to learn, that the expectation that I place on myself is not healthy, and to relieve others of helping me find my happiness. So I had to let all that
That's
go.
a big life lesson.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It was not
Yeah.
fun.
So when these opportunities come up and you say yes, you choose something new, like logistically, what's the hardest part about stepping away from something that is defined and successful and pivoting?
You know how people say all the time, it's like, I don't actually know how it goes, but it's something about like leave when like you're at the height of it all. Like don't leave once you become really bad at something. And I can't say that I've left anything on my own that was already of high success. Just something else kind of came and presented itself, and I kind of figured that part out. And over time, a lot of those decisions will be made for me. Like I'm not in control of television shows getting picked up.
Yeah.
I'm not fully in control of opening a restaurant solely on my own. I'm not in control of those things 100% of my own. And so, kind of what I was saying at the beginning, it's like I'm gonna keep stacking all these different things. So then if maybe one
Mm-hmm.
thing doesn't work out, even if it was really successful, then I've got all these
Mm.
other backup plans. Because also
Mm.
life for me is about planning efficiently and as smartly as I
Mm-hmm.
can. So when I, am ready to either retire or move away and live on an island with no electricity,
Yeah.
I've got all my things buttoned up, and that I can do that.
So
Yeah.
can you just sort of, for people listening who don't know it, because we're talking around it, can you talk like this is sort of the arc of what I've done? So I started here and then to here and then to here and then here because it's pretty extraordinary.
God,
Yeah,
well,
it's so much.
but it's also not at the same time. It's been a slow. I think everyone has brilliant moments in their life that they have this
Yeah.
huge arc and that you can do all these amazing things. For some, it's having children. For some, it's
Mm.
their children having children. For some, it's
Mm-hmm.
taking their first trip outside of the United States. I don't know. Like
Mm.
everyone has these amazing arcs of like these great rainbow moments in life. And I am no different in that way. Perhaps mine is just slightly more public. Um,
Okay.
but I don't, great is great. Like baseline, great is great, no matter what it looks
Okay.
like from the outside. So I was born and then I was adopted and then I was brought up in
Yeah.
a family in Michigan. And then
Yeah.
I struggled with a lot of things. I was very much in the closet for a long time.
Yeah.
I still have lived more of my life in the closet than I have out. And one day I will wake up
Mm.
knowing that I have now
Mm.
have
Cross the
lived
threshold.
the
Yeah.
majority of my life as authentically
Mm.
genuine as I feel. Um, television was never part of the plan, the grand plan. I think had
Mm.
it been something that I knew was going to happen, I probably would have made it not happen out of complete fear of all the different things. Um,
Yeah.
but at the I cook. I cook. I have restaurants. I want to invite you in. I cook, and luckily, food has kind of come into this television space where
Yeah.
now I get to do what I love and experience other people's way of
Gosh.
cooking that just happens to be caught on camera.
I mean, truly. Can you? I watched your season, the season that you won Top Chef. I just watched it a couple months ago, and I just got so tickled watching the you from then, the young you from then. Like you just didn't even know. Like you, I just kept thinking she didn't even know that she's going to host this damn show. She does not even know she's going to win this damn thing. Like, it was just
Yeah.
fun to watch with knowledge of everything that was coming for you over the course of the next decade plus,
Yeah.
even in the Top Chef ecosystem. That, I mean, the student was becoming the teacher. So what a full circle. I got a million questions about Top Chef. You're so good at it. You know, I texted you after the premiere of this season. I'm like, you're so good at this. Like, you're meant for this.
Yeah.
You are just so good at hosting. Are you having fun? It's over, right? The season's over.
Yeah, season's done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a winner. Um,
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
There's yes, I think season 21, which was my first time hosting the
Yeah.
show, there was it was complicated. There were a lot of layered feelings happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but under all of that, yes, I was absolutely having fun. And I think by, I
Mm.
don't know, mid-season, I really like dropped into it. This
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
season 22, it's just I figured out that I don't need to be anything other than myself. I have figured out
Then
that I
you.
don't need to
Yeah.
replicate somebody else's way of doing
That's right.
something. And I figured out that my voice matters in the context of that. Not that
Mm-hmm.
I never thought it did or wouldn't. It just when you're like living it and you're just feeling a little bit out of place, especially as you get your feet wet,
Uh-huh.
you convince yourself a lot of funny things. So season 22, it
Mm-hmm.
is so good. Like so good. Tom
Yeah.
said it's his favorite season yet. There was
Is that right? Wow.
there was two things that happened within this season, just outside of just the great, amazing chefs and their beautiful stories. We had a dish that was probably by far one of the most brilliant and will be iconic things people see on television. And
Really?
it was outstanding. And it would have never happened if the show didn't exist and the parameters weren't put around them.
Uh-huh.
It
Yeah.
was unreal, absolutely unreal. Best thing I
Have we
think.
seen it yet?
No,
Is it in episode 1 or 2? Okay,
no,
damn.
no.
Okay.
And then there was a big life moment where, you know, when you catch yourself, like, regardless of your job, like sometimes perhaps you're on this and you're interviewing people or you're talking about certain things and you kind of like catch yourself and it starts to feel a little bit out of body where you're like, holy shit, like, is this actually happening with me and to me? And you're like, oh my God, this is my real life. I had several of those moments. And there was one where I felt the cameras just melt away. I could have sat there for the entirety of the day until the sun went down. I just never wanted it to end. And it was just absolutely incredible. And I think that there were probably moments like that in season 21. I just wasn't fully present enough to recognize it.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's so good.
Can't wait.
The chefs are so good.
They're so good. They have
Like,
great personalities. They have stories to tell, the talent and the
Anya from Russia. Like, I'm just here for it. I'm here for all of it. And,
Wait,
you know, and Tom can be,
let me ask you, who's your front runner?
let's see. I don't have them memorized yet because I've only watched 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by the end, these are my best friends.
Yeah.
You know, like I am on the journey with them, like their favorite cousin. What I'm just enjoying is they're bringing their own thing. Everybody's got these real unique, I mean, you ate an edible pine cone
Yeah.
from Russia. Like that's just where does this happen outside of Top Chef? And so I also like how they are with each other. Sometimes some seasons are real contentious or they get I feel anxious about the tension. But thus far, I've liked the way that they are with each other, the way they encourage. And Tom's not that mean. So he's impressed. He keeps being impressed. He keeps going, I don't know what to say bad.
Yeah.
He'll find something. But
Wait, Amy, do you watch the show? It's okay if you don't.
I've gone back and I've watched the season you won, like the last few episodes, and then the side show,
Last Chance
Last
Kitchen.
Chance, yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the interviews you did afterwards. But now I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Amy, if there's any season to start at, this is it. 100%.
Okay.
Now you know.
See, Kismet.
Yeah. Let's talk about our book.
To your book, accidentally, on purpose. Here it is. You talk about the tension between nature and nurture, how you were raised versus what felt innate, and how has that played out in your professional life?
I think I've lived enough life at this point where it's kind of hard to differentiate what actually is nature versus nurture, like where the will tip here, because it just feels so normal now for me. I think it's played out a lot in my professional life by way of my skill set, just the fundamental basics of cooking. I don't know how I knew how to do it. I don't know how I knew what flavors to go together. I don't know how I can write a recipe without testing it first. I can see it in my head. I can taste it in my head. I can see the measurements, even in grams. If we're talking, I mean, that was like drug days. I can see grams, but like I can see measurements and I can build something in my head and get pretty damn close when I actually go to cook it. And I think that is, I don't know where that comes from. It's got to be
That's just a gift.
down the line of like biological mom and dad.
Yeah.
They had something there. Because my mother and my father will tell you that they don't have that skill. I think oh God, I think a lot of the nurture is in my personal life and a lot of the nature is in my professional life. Because I can't tell you why I'm good at certain things. I don't know. I didn't have to practice holding a knife. I didn't practice putting together flavors. Um, just I don't know. It just came to me. I don't
And
know.
it did early? Like, were you an early and a young cook, even in a home that wasn't like culinary forward?
5 years old, I picked up my knife,
Yeah.
first knife, and I just knew how to use it. I knew it felt so normal.
Bananas.
And um, I mean, learning how to develop flavors is a lifelong practice. But I knew how to do certain things. I knew that hydration levels when you're talking about bread or doughs, and I'd watch my parents make pizza dough from a package and add the the amount of liquid that the package called for. But depending on the season, that could be wrong. Depending on the outcome of if you wanted the big, nice bubbles, you needed a higher hydration of pizza. Sourdough is 81% hydration usually because you get the big bubbles. Like all those different sciencey things. I don't know. I I don't know. I knew it. I just knew it.
Shit, I don't know that yet.
Nope.
God, I'm 50 years old. I don't know about 81%. Like, I don't know how to make sourdough.
Yeah,
That is just,
if I showed you once, you would nail it. You'd be so good at it.
One of the most powerful themes in the book is identity, both in terms of your adoption and how you've navigated all the different spaces in your life. How has your understanding of your own identity evolved?
yeah. And that includes your sexual identity. Like, you had a lot of things in that bucket.
Yes. I realized for a long time I didn't know myself at all. I was too scared. I didn't want to know. I was scared of knowing where I came from because what if I found out something like absolutely horrible? Then am I horrible or is something going to be passed along? Same reason annual physicals, like I know I got to go, but like I fear it because sometimes you just don't want to know. And I've had to come to terms with getting to know all the really good things about myself that really have helped me move forward in life, but also really understanding the things that make me a challenge, that where my poor decision making came from, finding the root of those identities because if you don't know, then you can't fix it. And for me, I've band-aided a lot of things for a long time. And at a certain point, that just like explodes and it comes out in a really unhealthy way. And I made a promise to myself when I stopped doing drugs and I really stopped being self-destructive that I was really going to understand who I am and why I am the way I am. And I don't know that it feels like it's I don't know, so many things are my life's purpose, but I feel like my life's purpose is trying to figure out why I made choices that I did and why, you know, I carry guilt around some things. And I think those are really important characteristics to learn about oneself.
Can you talk about some of those roots that you like reached down and pulled up and went, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. That's where this tree came from.
Yes. Okay, well, let me start with there's this level of we all have people pleasing to a degree where we want to make sure everyone's happy. We don't want people to not like us. We want to do right by the world. A lot of what I was doing in the past was making sure I stayed on this course and never made a mistake and never did anything worthy of being deemed bad because I didn't want to feel like my parents made a mistake. So if you do everything right, there could be no question or doubt or regret that someone chose you. So I've had to let that part go. And I've since, resolved a lot of that because just the conversations that I've had with my parents, even in the process of writing this book, that it, they chose, like, from the moment they said, yes, we're going to do this, and the moment I was dropped into their home, like, that was it. Like, I could, in their eyes, I still can do no wrong, which is a wild thing. But I had to really understand what that felt like, and then transfer that into all the other forms of my life. So I can absolutely tell you that there is zero people pleasing in my bones. I want to do right by people, but there's zero people pleasing. And trying to earn my way into something. There was deep abandonment issues. I think that stemmed from the first 4 months of my life, but I also think it had something to do with feeling safety in my new life, right? From 4 months and beyond. I felt safety and comfort and happiness as much as I knew what that felt like. And so I never wanted to leave it, because then if I left it, what if something bad happened while I was away? Then I don't want to be the person abandoning the people that I love the most. So that was like a two-pronged thing. There was me being abandoned, but also this idea of me abandoning somebody else. I had to learn that. You know, I think that there's a lot of, I mean, we talk about self-worth a lot and understanding that we are worthy of good things in our life. But I think because a lot of the poor decisions I made me feel like a bad person. Poor decisions does not mean bad person. Poor decisions are a decision. And so then I had to heal that part and understand in myself that because I made poor choices, that didn't make me a bad person. That I was actually a good person. I just made bad decisions. So yeah, just a few.
Those are some roots. Those are big roots, and but have set you up for such like a beautiful way to live the rest of your life, where you're free, and then everybody around you consequently is also free, because they don't have to. They're not in control of your identity and how you feel about yourself and your worth at all. So everyone's free to just be themselves and be a human person in relationship with each other. I love those lessons. I mean, to some degree, most of us are learning those and working on those same ideas, which one thing that you are really honest about in Accidentally on Purpose is that sort of this other route of like battling that imposter syndrome, which I can imagine your industry is hierarchical, and then you are in front of the camera too. You're not just in the kitchen, like you're in front of the camera now. I can understand like how some of those tendrils might want to like grab you by the ankle. And so what has served you best to go, that's not how I'm going to move through this part of my life as an imposter?
You know, I think the imposter syndrome really has healed itself a lot in the past couple of years. And I think it's because people have helped me see my own value. But I also think it's this logical side of my brain. I'm very logical, and sometimes it does me a disservice. But my life and my career and everything that's happened would not continue to happen, or I wouldn't be asked back on certain things. I wouldn't like keep having these opportunities present themselves if I was faking it. Because
that's right.
I know what it feels like to live a lie and to fake things. And so, I mean, if I look back at my life and I'm like, well, God, you just lied for 40 years of your life and you're still like, you're still tricking people. My God, I would feel internally devastated. And I don't feel that way. I feel more excited about it and more pride through it. And so I think that the idea of imposter syndrome has really kind of washed away the past couple.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim was mentioning going back and watching your season of Top Chef and just thinking like she doesn't even know what she doesn't know. Like she has no idea what's coming. But if you could go back and talk to yourself then, or even 10 years ago, what would you tell her? Or would you?
Yeah.
I think the last part of that, the would you, I don't know. I don't know if I would say anything. I think there's points in my life where I'm like, God, I would just tell her it's going to be okay. But as a kid, you don't believe that anyways. I had people telling me it
Sure.
was going to be okay.
That's
And
right.
listening to people that were saying, oh, life gets better. But it's like when, your grandparents tell you, God, life just gets so much better. Like, I promise, it's going to be okay. You're like, bullshit. Like, I feel
Totally.
so bad right now. And so I don't know if
Yeah.
I would say anything because I think it would scare me, one. And I also don't know if I would believe it. And then it just feels like service at that point. So, I think everything happened the way it was supposed to happen, and it
Yeah,
turned out the
it
way I was
did.
supposed to find out.
It did. You're about to have a new experience because you're about to release a book. And it's interesting because writing a memoir in which you've done it with a lot of emotion and honesty, a lot of transparency, is interesting because you're going to put it in the hands of readers and it's going to become its own thing with them. Like, your work's done, your part's over. And then it goes to readers and there's this whole new alchemy where people take parts of your story and they overlay their own.
Yes.
And you couldn't have any control over this. You couldn't even imagine it. Like, you don't know. And it becomes something new.
Yeah.
With readers, and the story expands and it has depth to it that you couldn't have expected or even planned for. And so I'm excited for you to experience that because it's really precious to start collecting the stories of your readers who are about to know you in a new way. Like, this is not the you that you're always just putting out on Front Street on Bravo, you know? And so I'm excited for you to experience that. And I wonder what you would say to people listening. And it's hard to pin it down to one thing. I understand that. But if you were going to kind of synthesize, this is what I hope readers walk away with. Do you have like kind of a through line that is a bit of a hope for this book?
Man. Well, I think I've said from the very beginning of this, I was like, we'll get a couple TV things, we'll get a couple chapters in there, but this book is not about that. This book isn't for just Top Chef fans because I barely scraped the surface here. We're only at like a chapter and a half on Top Chef.
Yeah.
When this idea to write this book was presented to me, I was like, I don't know if there's anything that I can say. Like, I don't know if I have something that will translate to a lot of different kinds of people. And my trusted friends and wife was like, no, you do. Because there are things that are universal. Love, loss, grief, joy, sadness, all those different things. We all feel them. And as long as I can like tell the stories and the moments through the lens of a feeling that is familiar, that I know that you and I share, that's all I can do. Right. And of course, there's things that like I hope people find hope and inspiration and comfort. But I also, hope people, I don't know, whatever you want to get out of it. When you put it out into the world, like you said, it's out of your hands. You just hope that it does okay. It's just like a restaurant. Once my job is done, I have to step back and let it go.
That's true.
And
that's so true.
What will happen will happen. Some people will love it. Some people probably shit on it, and that's okay. But like, I know deep down, everything in that book, I was meant to say. I know it.
Good for you.
Nice.
Good for you.
Well, you have us excited about this current season. Things to look forward to.
Sure.
But you're on break right now. So what is next for you?
Yeah.
Offset. What are you working on?
Well, I'm opening another restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Casual.
No.
Casual.
So we're gonna get this book out. We're gonna let the season play out. We got all like, the things that come along with
Yeah.
and Emmy shit and like all the different pushes that you do. I'm gonna open a restaurant hopefully in that this year. God, fingers crossed, but you never know with restaurants. There's a very exciting thing that's going to happen that'll probably then be released next year. So that's going to
that's exciting. Cryptic.
Oh,
Very cryptic. That was unsatisfying. That was a very unsatisfying answer. But it's going to be exciting, and maybe next year. So take that to the bank.
We're going to figure out how to juggle all the things, and
that's exciting.
I'm very excited about it all because when things sit a little too still for too long, I get a little anxious and slightly bored. So I'm packing my year how I need to pack in order to feel like
you're go. Are you able to say where the new restaurant is?
Yeah, New York.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if it was a secret.
Yeah.
I have one last question. It's important. This is a question of depth. Because I'm nothing if not deep waters. I would like to discuss with you very briefly before we end, who is your stylist on the show? Because I can't handle it. I can't handle what you're wearing all the time. I cannot deal with your outfits. They're so fire that I just can't believe it. And so whatever you're paying her or him, you need to double it and keep them on your permanent payroll. I'm freaking out. So I need to know, can you give some information about that?
Okay. I'm going to give a huge shout out. That was her name is Charlotte Rose Coleman. She's been part of the Top Chef family since season 10 as like a stylist assistant. And since season 10, she's been Tom and Gail's stylist too. I started getting to know her on season 17 and 18 when I would come and guest judge or whatever. And then she like styled me for my Nat Geo show, which was jeans and a sweatshirt. And then Top Chef happened and I was like, well, of course I want Charlotte. She can do all three of us. She can coordinate us, but not make us matchy. And she really, she gets all the credit that she gets. And, it is well earned. She has gotten me to show my midriff. She has gotten me to wear other bustiers. She's gotten me to do other things. And it's because she helped me recognize my role in that show. Not just Kristen on the street. I would never wear half that shit out to the grocery store. But she got me to realize that when I see myself on screen and who I am and my role and what I hold there, I deserve to look like that. And so she has stepped up. Yeah.
Wait till you see. Now, let's also be fair. Who can't dress Kristen's body?
No.
I mean, this is like a stylist's dream. Like, just hang a potato sack on you and you're going to look like $10 billion. But I mean, really, your outfit, you look like, oh my God, you are slaying.
Yeah. I feel good.
Slaying the look. Yeah, I can tell. And it pulls through. Okay, that was important. Okay, so the book comes out. What day exactly does it come out?
April 22nd.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Coming up on it.
Yes.
So can you where can people get it? Everywhere? Anywhere?
Well, everywhere. And I would highly encourage, and also, obviously wherever your books are sold too, like the independent bookstores, the places of purpose and substance.
Totally.
But if online is the only place you can get it in 24 hours, and whatever, I'll take the win wherever I can get it. But find the local small bookshops in your area.
100% same. All right. Fun year for you.
Thank you.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your book to come out. I'm really excited for people to know you more and know your story more. And I'm excited for you to discover what it's like to put a beautiful book out into the world.
When I call you
one more thing,
and I'm like,
yeah.
out, yes, please take the call. Please take it.
I'll take that call, and I know that feeling.
Okay.
Sometimes we just white knuckle the day and
Yes.
go, I just need to get to tomorrow. So anyway, all right. Thanks for being on today. I'm so happy to see you, and just thrilled for this month. We're over here banging our little drum for you and for the book,
Thank you.
for obviously the show. So okay, that's it. Off you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I feel like I've been giving you Kristen propaganda now for some time, and now you know.
Except it's not propaganda.
It's real.
Listen, over the course of that interview, I was stunned into sort of an out of body, like, I don't know, emotional situation when she was talking about her parents.
Oh boy.
And then she's talking about how her stylist and how she deserves to look that fabulous. And she made me rethink soft clothing for like 10 seconds. Like, I've had the full
You had
breath.
a whole experience.
Yes.
Internally.
Yes.
Yeah, like that level of self-assuredness and like confidence and worth is so amazing to see. Particularly since she had to fight for it. She really had to fight for that. I mean, she talked about, we just touched on it, but she really gets into it. Like, abandonment is so deep in your bones. Some people never break it. Mm-hmm. They never break that, like, prison of I'm not good enough. I'm not wantable. I'm not lovable. I mean, she has like, phew.
Yeah.
Also, her family is delightful. And they do think she hung the damn moon.
Well, she kind of did.
Well, she did. I know. Like,
but also, what I just said was, I want to believe that some people are just like born that way. Mm-hmm.
They just came out confident.
That is a nature thing. But no, she wasn't like that for a really long time. Yeah, she's worked hard, and then she just got there, which means
we could.
Yeah.
Man. But you know what? I was struck listening to her just now. Maybe a low rung on that ladder, because that's quite a climb, is just simply what we just experienced with Kristen, which is just in some way, big or small, saying it out loud. Mm-hmm. Like her just saying, I deserve to look that good. It's just a sentence. But if you say that, I mean, you just start like charting your own course, like, no, I deserve that, or I felt really confident in that space, or I'm good at this, or I don't know. She just said it out loud with just like a candor that was so notable. Anyway, she's delightful.
You were right. She's special.
Yeah, she's delightful. And I've told you this now already, but I laugh so hard, and I've told her this too. But when you're around Kristen, and she's just such an intriguing person in literally every category, by the end of the conversation, people like us who have, a husband or a male partner, where you do kind of go, I wonder, am I a lesbian? Is this what it feels like? She's so attractive.
You might get some comments about that.
Well, I'm just asking. Like, I'm just curious. Like, oh, wait a second. Let me go back through it's the right. Did I build the house on the right foundation? She's great. Okay. Also, if you guys are not watching Top Chef, get on with it. I'm excited for you to watch it. I think you're going to enjoy it.
I'm a convert.
Yeah. I figured
for sure. I wish I would have chosen Bravo over Twitter 10 years ago.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I made the wrong choice, but that doesn't make me a bad person.
See, listen, we can be taught.
I can go forward.
We can be taught. Also, our book is out this month. So, Accidentally on Purpose, wherever, but we do love an indie bookstore. So, also, what a nice day for you. Like, take your little body, go get you a little coffee, walk into your independent bookstore and have a day. Like, admittedly, that's my like perfect afternoon. But anyways, hey, just a reminder, we love to hear from you in every way. So first of all, thank you for subscribing to the show, and thank you for leaving us reviews and ratings. Like those, we read all those, and those all matter. We also want to hear from you with our ears. So if you go to jenhatmaker.com under the podcast tab, there is a send voicemail button, and you can leave us a message, and it can be anything. You can tell us what you thought about Kristen. You can tell us something that you heard on the show that meant something to you. You can add your 2 cents to something Amy and I are, just jawing about. And we're going to listen to those for sure. And a bunch of those are going to make it on the show. We will play your message. So, that'll take you 2 minutes of your life, and we'd love to hear from you. All right, you guys, thanks for being here with us. Thank you for, just being a great listening community and so loyal and so true. And we love creating this little show for you, and we will just keep on keeping on. All right, you guys, have a great day. See you next time.